all for being here today. I do have to tell you, your voices are just phenomenal. And that music just, oh, I mean, you can just feel that. Can't you feel that? So today I want to talk with you about living in the moment. Because we are in a society that is very forward-focused. We have a lot of energetic information coming into us continuously at all times for us to think and ponder about. Have you ever been with one of your friends and they've said to you, hey, do you remember when? And you're like, no. Yeah, sometimes we remember good things, sometimes we remember bad things. But our brains are continuously infatuated with all of the information that's available to us. How many of you have a phone, a cell phone? How many of you have pictures on that cell phone? Right. And why do you have those pictures? Because you want to capture that moment in time, right? How many of you look through old photo albums and it just takes you right back? And you're remembering that birthday party or that Christmas and that favorite gift that you got. Because we want to capture that moment in time. It was okay that we lived it, but we want to recapture that. But I'm encouraging you today to look to the moment. Because if you pass over these moments of today, you will be missing out on a lot of life. We were meant to live in the moment, to appreciate those things that are around us. As we sit and look at the squirrels playing, and the sunrise and the sunset. Some of the things that we've experienced in our lives in the past. We say, oh, I wish I could do that again. But the thing is, you can. You can live in this moment, for your thoughts, your words, your deeds, and your actions are going to create your tomorrows. We are fortunate to belong to a religion that teaches us natural laws, and that thoughts are things. And as they go out, they bring back to us. So whatever you're thinking today is creating your tomorrow, and the day after, and the week after, and the month after. A little scary, is it not? Because most of the time, what are we doing in our heads? We're bringing up emotions because of our thoughts. We're going back to a time. We're thinking of past. We're thinking of present. We're thinking of future. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to have goals, because it's not. It's good to have goals. And you can keep your eye focused on the goals, but you're going to miss so much information if you are not paying attention to the now. You've heard the saying, it's not the destination, but the journey. For in the journey, you will learn so many things that will help you appreciate those goals when you get to them. When we focus on our emotions, or when we hear something that brings up emotions in us, then we start off on a little path, don't we? You can almost feel yourself drifting off. If somebody is speaking to you and tells you about someone who's ill, your brain starts to go off. Oh, I hope they're okay. Oh, I should send them a card. And you're missing whatever that person is telling you. We all want to be heard, don't we? We all want to be acknowledged. Because that's who we are. We're all spirit. We want to acknowledge that in each other. For that's our divine birthright. We shed this physical body, and we become one again in the spirit world with that divine spark of information that has brought us to this point in our being. When you stay in the moment, you are able to see more of what is around you. Many people ask, oh, aren't you tired of driving the convention? I know this last year we went to Arizona. I'm not going to tell you how many miles I put on my car. It was a lot. But I like to do that because I like to look at the land. I like to look at the different trees. I like to look at the different ground. I like to look at the different animals that I see. Because, you know, everywhere you go in the country, it's different, right? I mean, up north has very different grass than Florida has. And they grow the most beautiful tulips. Oh, I'll never forget those. But I want to enjoy those minutes. And as I was sitting, drinking coffee on my pergola today, talking with Spirit, I said, all right, so this is what we're going to talk about. And I watched 5 or 6 squirrels running along the fence line. And it was amazing because as soon as I started to tune into those squirrels, I noticed that the first one running along the fence line was a little older and trying to teach the little ones that came next how to do this and how to navigate around a tree and how to get back up on the fence. And of course the last one was older too, making sure that everybody made it. And just like baby animals, baby squirrels, baby cats, baby everything, they like to play. And of course one of them chased one of them off down to the ground. And I had such joy in just watching those squirrels play. Even though they like to chew on my plants. But that's okay, because I put wire around them now. So I can live in the moment and enjoy my beautiful plants. It doesn't take a lot of time. But I'll bet if you think about how much time you spend thinking about something else. Some of you may be thinking, oh, what am I going to do after here? I got to go make sure I go by the grocery store and get the milk. Or, oh, I forgot to do that paperwork. I got to get home and do that paperwork. Instead of being here. Most of our lives, we're living up here. We're living out there. But we need to live in here. Because the soul of who we are, the divine spark, is in the moment. How many of you have dogs or cats? Okay. And when you get home, don't they come out and like they've never seen you before? And their tails wagging, they're like, oh my gosh, you're finally home, yes. They're in the moment. They're not thinking about how long you've been gone. Well, you were gone, you know, a very long time today. No, they're in the moment. They're enjoying your presence. They're enjoying you being there. And let me tell you, when you're playing with your animal, you're in the moment. Right? Because you're enjoying that love. You're petting them. Unless you have a dog like mine that just wants you to continually pet. But I can still send her that love no matter what I'm doing. Right? We can't live in the moment. It takes time. I'm not saying you should always live right now, right here, right this minute. But it's about the journey. When something happens in your life, look at it. It's coming to you to help you. Sometimes we get that big little reset, don't we? Like, hey, pay attention. I can tell by nodding, some people have had those, haven't we all? But our 7th principle teaches us we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. Right? Law of thought, law of love, those Those of you who took my natural law class will remember all of these coming back up. You see, they're always there. The law is the law is the law. When you're going for healing and you're going for mediumship, the main thing we teach in mediumship is centering and concentration. Bringing yourself to one focus, one thing. How many of you have ever sat to meditate and ended up falling asleep? I think we all have, especially if you're doing it lying down. I tried that a couple times. Doesn't work real well. But it's all about getting into the present moment. Getting to know who you are inside. Shutting all of this down. Being in the moment. Allowing that sacred time for Spirit to come sit and talk with you. Meditation's about living in the moment. You've heard of the Buddhist monks who sit there and meditate and can do this for hours on end. Now, I don't know about you, but if I sit in one place for too long and I'm not sitting correctly, I get a little bit sore. So I'm thinking, how can you sit there for that long? And you know some of them are quite old. Because they're not doing all this stuff. They're staying in the moment. They're staying in touch with who they are, with that divinity within them. So when you go out to your jobs and you're functioning in this world, just take a few minutes to appreciate things. It's easy for us to appreciate people because fortunately we are in a very loving, caring, open church. And it's easy for us to appreciate those people. Especially when we're doing spiritual things. And you have that ability to do spiritual things all the time. Nothing's keeping you from having a Sunday on a Tuesday, or a Thursday, or a Monday morning. Nothing's stopping you. When you sit and drink your cup of coffee, are you tasting the coffee? Or are you just drinking it? When you sit down to a meal, are you just putting it in as fast as you can? Now, I know I was in the working force, still am. Sometimes you only have this much time to eat, so you do have to shovel it in, right? But take a moment. Be with yourself. Do with yourself. Pay attention. You know, Spirit gives us a lot of information all the time. But we're so busy off thinking over here or thinking over here that we miss it. We miss the clues. We miss the, hey, did you do this? Hey. Because when you're in your spiritual life and on your spiritual growth, Spirit's there to help you. They don't judge. You say, help me get through the day. Sometimes they say, help me get to this next patient without so much traffic. But that's all inside you. You decide. We were given free will and free choice. You can choose to think whatever you want. But it's what you're thinking and what you're doing now in the moment. Because you see, our thoughts are very powerful. We can convince ourselves of anything, right? If you give me something, I can tell you the pros and I can tell you the cons and I can convince you either way. But be in that moment. Listen to that still inner voice within you. If you have to sit and close your eyes, then sit and close your eyes. Because sometimes it's hard to shut off all that noise. Sometimes you'll hear the kids or grandkids, Mom, Nana. It's like I have to have some time on myself. Sometimes it's just too much when you're trying to be in the moment. All the distractions that are going on. All of the problems that you keep bringing up. You know, when you have issues that you're dealing with in life, and you say, God, I need some help with this. Please help me. I'm letting go. And then what do? We reel it back in, just to make sure God's doing a good job. Keep our eye on him. Let it go. The universe and spirit is set up to support you, always. It's not against you. It's for you. People are here to support and love and care about you. You know, when we hear about all of these things that are going on in the news and all of these things that are going on around the world, and we start going down that thought process, don't we? I encourage you to step back and say, you know what? I'm okay. Right here, right now, I'm okay. I have clothes on my body. I have a car to get here. I have food in the refrigerator. I have a job. I have family and friends who love me. Right here, right now, you have absolutely everything you need. Right now. We've got a nice comfortable seat to sit in. We've got nice air conditioning. We have lights. You have everything you need right now. And in every moment of every day, you have exactly what you need. But you don't have to worry about it. Well, I wonder, you know, I gotta say this about my mom. God bless her. I love her with all my heart and soul. She's a worrywart. That's all she does. I had another patient too who says to me, I'm just a worrier, I'm just so anxious. Is everything okay? Because if it's not, I'm going to worry about it. I'm like, why? Why? It is what it is. You can't handle it till it comes, right? And when it comes, then you'll have the information. And sometimes not a moment too soon, right? How many of you had bills to pay and then all of a sudden something happens and the money comes in? You're like, oh, well, that was pretty convenient. And if you live and you tell yourself that, I always have what I need. Now, this is the one and only time I'm going to tell you it's okay to talk to yourself. Well, actually, it's okay to talk to yourself as long as you don't answer. Then we're... But talk to yourself. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. You know, back in the day when I first started home care, I actually used to live here in Orlando, and I worked for one company, and they decided to go bankrupt. I went in to pick up my paycheck. I'm sorry, there is no paycheck. I went, what do you mean there's no paycheck? Because I'm a single mother. I have bills to pay. I have car payment. I have a mortgage. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Immediately, I had an answer. Go apply with other home care companies. I went, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Blowing for them. And so I did. And it's because of that I was able to progress and I was able to pay my bills. Did I miss that $2,000? Absolutely. But you know what? It came in different ways. It came with a company that I knew was stable, that I didn't have to worry about if they were going to fold or if they were in a club bankruptcy. And then I moved to Ocala and I started to worry I going to have enough visits here? What am I going to do? And Spirit said, would you please just let go? You have everything you need. And I went, okay. And then everybody has seasons. If you've owned a business or worked in a business, you know there's seasons. There's times when you're really doing good, and then there's times when it's really slow. And it's no difference in home care, let me tell you. Of course, now it's busy all the time. And I used to worry. And I used to hear, we got you. Trust me. Trust us. No matter what you're doing Spirit's work here. Each and every one of you is doing Spirit's work. I don't care what you're doing. Whether you're a nurse, a truck driver, a firefighter, I don't care what you do. You're doing Spirit's work. Because that's for you. That's your job. Your job is to stay in the moment and listen. And listen to Spirit and know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that they've got you. But if you're always doing this stuff in your head, you're going to miss the small communications that Spirit's sending to you. Because you're always... And sometimes it takes us to go, I'm going to the bathroom, and you shut, lock the door, and be like, that's it, this is my time. I'm just going to be in the now. Because if you're in the now and you're living in the moment, you will find yourself healthier. You will find yourself happier. You will find yourself at peace. So maybe Buddha had something to his teachings, huh? Live in the moment. It's your choice. God bless you.